gonna start with dudes rock.
All it could do is maybe like melt some of the wax off the already carved stone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The sculpture has been revealed. Classical ideal. 2020 male.
2020 male. It's the year of the dude.
It's been a process of just fucking erosion, of meticulous erosion to wear the male identity down to its perfect state, which it is now. Because that's, you know, I mean, it's like there's been times recently where it's like I've been done dirty, you know, and I think, could a dude have done this to me this year in the year of dudes rock? And guess what? Never. No chance. Never a dude.
Yeah, guys don't do that to each other. We don't stab each other in the back. Not this year.
It was happening for a while, you know, but then we settled things out and we understand the chips fell and now the natural order is returning. That's how people are like, you know,
unity.
Right. Well, people are like, you know, oh, well, look how well nature's doing now that coronavirus has everything and everybody inside. Climate change is reversing. The animals are coming back. And it's like, yeah, the animals are coming back. Man, those are one of the animals. That's part of nature, bitch.
I'm unleashing the animal inside.
Yeah. If you love nature, well, then guess who should also hate being able to vote? Because that's not part of it. Yeah. That's not part of it.
If you let nature have its course, women they have no rights.
Right, exactly.
2020, so we started off hard, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. It was like month by month. It was like Australia fires.
Yeah.
It was a world war.
Yeah. Nobody cares about the Australia fires right now were the best news of 2020. Like nobody, if Australia were to burn down the entire continent, it would still be better news.
Mm-hmm. I would personally light a baby kangaroo on fire to be able to go to the movies right now.
Because no one there knows what a fire truck is called.
Kobe Bryant dying in a helicopter was the least traumatic story of 2020 so far.
It's so funny.
Kobe's entire family being decapitated was like a relatively okay day.
It's a mild Tuesday.
How mad people were with Ari over the Kobe Bryant thing.
Ari's the only person who worked out.
Is he like in an undisclosed location?
He's at his parents' house.
He was getting death threats, and then he sent a call into headquarters, and he's like, "We're gonna need some kind of pandemic to make sure we stay inside."
There was an extraction operation.
I'm being threatened by. I need somebody to come up with a pandemic to keep everybody inside.
Yeah, Ari took so much heat for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then nobody gives a shit anymore at all. We're very removed from all of it. The Australia wildfires.
Did you see the shit today where they had those fucking gay ass Blue Angels fly over the city?
Yeah, it was the stupidest fucking thing
to make us feel better. Like whatever. Yeah, we're literally 3 years old.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at the airplane! Oh, there come airplane! It's like the Blue Angels also appeal to the age bracket that's already excited by fire trucks and ambulances anyways.
Yeah. Blue Angels appeal to guys in Long Island who've never served in the military.
Yeah, I know.
Who have American flag profile pictures on Facebook, who drag their family out to Jones Beach to watch the Blue Angels and talk about and they jumble up all the wars. They don't even know what war is what.
Right.
And that's exactly who the Blue Angels is for.
Never mind.
What are the Blue Angels? This is
it's like if you're good enough at being a pilot, they let you just do plane dancing. You don't have to fucking you can be like, you know, the movie Top Gun is like just like brimming with like homoerotic, you know, like tension.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine that you like, you know, just like dropped like something in that water to cause like a super reaction. And then the team of Blue Angels, which are the Navy pilots whose job is to just go like fly over stadiums and do tricks with each other, and then hit the showers.
For what?
Yeah,
and they're doing it to support COVID.
It's the elite
of the city. It's just jets. I mean, it's literally just 5 planes. You look up in the air and there's 5 planes flying together. But
they're the only people causing pollution right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's the elite gay unit of the Navy.
Yeah.
And none of their fans can be told back because it would ruin it. But it's the elite gay unit. It's guys that can't be trusted to bomb a village because they get gay about it and maybe not do it. but they don't mind putting on a show, on top of the, whatever, fucking Nassau Coliseum.
Right. The further you get into the Navy, like the more elite the categories are, the gayer it gets. I mean, that's just the guy that shot Bin Laden is like a woman now.
He's trans. All of SEAL Team 6 is trans.
All trans.
That's how they got into it. They were in Pakistan fucking ladyboys and killed Bin Laden by mistake. That's how it happened.
Yeah. Can you imagine them just like breaking into that compound, just in high heels, going up slumbering up the steps? Come on, girls, he's up here. I found him. He's in the back bedroom. Come on, ladies.
Yeah. Oh God, trans SEAL Team 6. Dude, genuinely one of the scariest things. Just 6 armed trannies kicking in a door at 2 a.m.
Imagine you're just some Muslim extremist and you already think America is the great Satan. And then they just send like just a checklist of every abomination your religion can name. Just like served up the entire menu, just barreling down the street, 6'3", F-cup tits, giant calves.
Remember that comedian Ant?
Yeah.
He was a gay guy. He used to do a joke. I don't know. It was back when gay comedy was, and that's still kind of what it is, where a gay guy would just be like, what if they sent me to Al-Qaeda? And the audience would be like, yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
What if
that would be awesome.
Yeah. You know the Steve Harvey bit about going to Iraq, right?
No, what is it?
Dude, first of all, Steve Harvey, one of probably top 5 best comics of all time.
He's very funny. He's hilarious.
He's one of the funniest people. And what makes him so funny is he has like not really the worst takes. I mean, it's like, but some of them are fucking, I mean, it's just.
They're unique.
Yeah. So his thing about the Iraq war is he's like, send me over there. Shit. You send me there on a Tuesday, the war will be over on a Friday. Okay. Steve is shooting everybody. he's like the women, the children. I don't give a shit. Come on, be like, it's like the women, the baby. I'm gonna shoot the baby. The baby come up. Lord Steve Dunn shot the baby. He's describing war crimes. I mean, it's fucking hilarious.
Do you ever watch him on Family Feud? He's so condescending. Like if you say something stupid, he looks at you like you're a fucking asshole.
Well, yeah. My favorite part about Family Feud is like half the questions are suggestive. So like, I mean, like it's like a bit or whatever. But so I mean, Steve will be like, okay, we surveyed 100 people. Name something that you put in your mouth and suck on until it gets hard. And then like somebody will be like a penis, and then he's like,
he looks at the camera.
Somebody pray for this child. Somebody pray for this damn fool that done lost their mind. Well, I don't really know what else the answer would be on that.
He's been doing that show for like a long time.
Yeah, he's been a host for a minute now.
Yeah, who was the host before him? No, Drew Carey was hosting The Price is Right. Not Family Feud. Yeah, Family Feud. It kind of sucks. It's a pretty easy show to follow because I watch it with my kids sometimes. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of
your kid wants to watch Family Feud.
You don't think that's bad for him?
No, not at all. He did ask me. I showed him a Jim Gaffigan special, thinking that Jim Gaffigan's a clean comedian.
Yeah,
Jim Gaffigan's filthy. If you're showing it to a 7-year-old,
yeah. Jim Gaffigan's is he really filthy?
You ever try to put a bottle of water in a woman's pussy?
Have you ever?
I was getting my ass eaten, and I was hungry.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did he just kill a hooker?
I guess I'll get fucked in my ass. My ass at the bus station.
He just talks about like that first special. He mentioned prostitution. He mentioned sex.
Mm-hmm.
So
the level of G that you need to be. I mean, you can't show your son really any comedian.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be able to show him a couple. I thought I was going to show him Gaffigan, and then I showed him what's his name, Brian Regan. I showed him a little bit of Nate.
Okay.
Then I showed him Big J.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
clean. So funny if James like ends up loving stand up, and then he finally sees like your stand up when he's like 15. And it's like that episode of The Simpsons where Marge finds out her dad's a stewardess and not an airline pilot.
Yeah, your son just hates you forever because he watches your set.
Well, that's also the part of me.
I'm going to see my daddy's stand up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a part of me that as well, because like we shelter him so much. We don't let him watch like anything dirty, anything suggestive. And then one day he's just going to go onto the internet and find what I do. And it's going to break his heart.
He's just going to be sitting there one day when you walk in silently and you're gonna be like, hey buddy, what's up? And he's just going to look up and you go, you do a bit about ghost rape. You do a bit about somebody getting fingered by a ghost. Are you serious?
With my son, I'm going to be even more weird and hardcore in the household prior to his discovery of the internet.
Yeah.
So it's a step down.
Cumtown's a relief when he finds that.
When he finds that his father had a sense of humor at one point.
Yeah.
Before he became a humorless garage man that only speaks to his son in Mandarin Chinese, which the son had no reinforcement of. Outside of maybe 4 or 5 sentences from his father a day, and the rest of his life is in English. So he's never learned Chinese.
He's like, I never understood why my father spoke Mandarin. But, but I respected the man.
Go back in the garage. He's coming in completely nude in sandals, getting a Capri Sun from the refrigerator,
smoking a Marlboro Light.
Yeah. I don't
know. I don't know what the solution is to that. So do I start exposing my son to more things like that now?
How old is he? He's 7?
He's 7, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can't remember 7 really. I feel like that's early enough.
Really?
Once you get to like 8, 9, then it's like you can experience the world in its entirety, I think.
I started having memories at 5. I think that was because I started going to kindergarten.
I have memories. But I mean, like being in like 1st and 2nd grade, like I was still like, my mom gave me like Metamucil before school in 2nd grade, and I shit my pants the entire day. Like that was the kind of thing that was happening still in 2nd grade. You know what I mean? Like, can you like imagine just shitting your pants for an entire day as like a?
Why did she give you Metamucil?
I don't know. Maybe I'm blaming it on her, and I just thought it was like Tang or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
I just remember that Metamucil was the reason that I was now shitting myself again at fucking, what is that, 7? That's probably 7.
Yeah. That's a rough day.
Yeah, it was awful.
Did the kids notice, or you were just shitting in the bathroom?
You know what? Get this. I shit in my pants, but it was a solid turd, and I was able to go back into the cubby area and dump it on the floor out of my pants. And, and then whatever poor janitor, who I like to imagine Steve Harvey on the Family Feud, just being like, Lord, somebody pray for this damn child.
Pray for this fool.
Somebody done pray for this damn fool of a child. Done left a turd right in the cubby area.
Shit. Yeah, dude. I mean, I've never had to deal with that at school. There was a girl I remember in the 6th grade. She was already fucking fat and gross. I won't say her name because I feel so bad for this girl. Dude, it was the 6th grade, and
you also should just not say her name because it would be indecent to do so.
No. I feel bad. This girl's life, this ruined her life.
Yeah.
How do you know she's not doing great right now?
If she didn't kill herself, I'd be surprised. Because this girl was already like 260 pounds in the 6th grade. She's a big fat girl.
There's always one girl that's like 400 that's like very fat.
It was crazy. She's a big girl, okay? And, nice enough girl, but very nerdy.
How much that sucks to be the fattest girl in school. Yeah. Not just the girl with weight problems.
There was a girl there. You get so fat. There was one girl we grew up with where literally you get so fat, your head just keeps going like this all day.
Yeah.
Because it's like bouncing off your fat. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like a Funko Pop.
Yeah. That's literally this girl named Jennifer. She was 600 pounds and she would just be like, it was very, and they just like, they had to walk her from class to class, and she had like this big thing of water, and she would just sit in the class and her head would be like going like this. And I'm like, what is she getting out of this? Like, there should be an alternative method to teach her. Like, it's not like she's going to graduate and get like a regular job.
There was so this girl, she was in the classroom, and then I don't remember who the kid was, but it was a fucking dickhead of a kid. He just raised his hand. I don't think he was even trying to be mean, but he just raised his hand, and then he points at the girl and he goes, "Hey, something's leaking from her seat." And this girl, this big fat animal, was just pissing her pants at her desk. And I think she was just too shy to ask to go to the bathroom. This is how bad this girl's life was. She had too much anxiety to even ask to go to the bathroom, which resulted in her pissing at her desk, which then resulted in a kid pointing it out to the entire classroom. It was, this girl started crying, sobbing. She ran. She didn't come to school again for a week.
Yeah.
That's rough. What kind of school were you attending?
This was a auto repair.
Yeah.
Were you in a regular class, or were you in like a special class?
You think I was in a special class, Tim?
Well, no, I'm just asking because sometimes the fat girl would go in a special
like an emotional problems class.
Yeah.
It was a fat retarded girl that pissed her pants. All right, that is a good clue.
A Burger King Kids Club sort of deal.
Lewis is like, and then this other guy in my class was 17 and he just gotten out of jail.
Yeah, there was a guy that was 26 and his name was Esteban.
Yeah. And we were all learning English. It was very, very hard for that fat girl.
Yeah.
No, I was in pretty good classes for the most part. I was always in because I always tested well. I was really bad in school and I was a bad student, but I always did well on whatever like end of the year tests there were, the fucking SATs, all the final exams. I'd always do really well. So that's how I'd always pass my classes.
Louis, the genius.
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Louis, yeah.
Well, because the test was like your way out. You were like, oh, this can get me out of here. I got to do well on this.
Well, the test was like worth like, a third of your grade or whatever for the semester,
right?
The final exam, it was always like that. So it was
Did you start college, or were you like just fuck college 100%?
No, I started college.
I started community college. I went for 2 years.
Yeah, I went to 1 year community college, and I went to like 6 months of Baruch college, and I fucking said fuck this. But I was like, I would figure out exactly the bare minimum to do. So whatever, like I'd have the math figured out. It'd be the fourth quarter. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm going to fail unless I get an 86 in science, a 91. And I would always get what I needed to get.
Did you try to get the guys at Baruch to leave with you? You're like, I found this business. We don't need colleges.
That's where him and Ralph met.
Yeah, we can sell comedy club tickets in Times Square. We're suckers trying to get fucking MBAs.
Yeah, Ralph and Louis were in the admissions office talking to like academic advisors, and Louis was like, "I want to be a guy on the radio," and he overheard Ralph being like, "Do you have any pussy getting classes?"
Yeah,
he's like,
Louis met Ralph because Ralph was the least wealthy person at Epstein's Island who had to take public transportation there. And Louis just waited for him and blackmailed him into starting a podcast network.
Yeah.
Who has that bit where they're like, how good must child pussy be? Somebody's got a bit where they talk
like
about
nine
that.
people have that bit.
So
yeah,
funny.
everyone who's ever, like every guy that looks like me at every open mic.
Yeah. Everyone from Louis to a guy who started comedy last week.
Yeah. Who has that bit about how your first time on stage is kind of like your first time having sex because it's
right
and everyone's laughing at you?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Who's got that one? Who's doing that bit? What do you think happens to guys that started comedy like a couple of years ago? This kills everything for them, right? This break.
I don't feel bad for those people. I was saying the other day, it's like, like I'm not gonna fucking name names, but there's people who are established comedians who are now 47 years old. I had a conversation with a friend of ours, and it's a shitty situation, but he was like, "What should I do?" This is somebody that's been a professional comedian for 25 years, and he goes, what should I do? Should I do you think I should move to Florida and be a construction worker? And it's like, what do you you can't, you're not a construction worker.
Right.
You're gonna just get that job. It's like fucking, that's like a construction worker being like, what should I do? Should I move to New York and become a professional comedian?
Yeah, everybody's a pretend life they're so completely unqualified for. Like every now and then I'll be like, I should just sell high-end real estate. And I'm like, I would never sell, like I would be shot at gunpoint if I tried to sell high-end real estate. Like, what am I even saying?
Yeah,
what would you do?
You should buy a gun and consider fucking robbing people. I mean, that's really the only other option.
The only alternative is genuinely suicide.
It's killing yourself, and
like the Japanese do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's honorable to
You carry your grandparents to the top of a mountain and leave them there to die, and then you go to the bottom of the mountain and eviscerate yourself with a sword in front of a magical tree, and that's culture. You know,
that's what it is.
That's nature coming back.
If you're 22, it's good because now you can just literally go do something real with your life.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, and it's also comedy will not come back anytime relatively soon, but you'll still have time to come back here and be a fucking failure, you know.
Yeah, you can still throw your life away, but the hope is that during this period, like it's too late for all of us, but it's like, during this period that maybe some of those young kids go and find something.
It's better because they at least get to, no one ever quits and thinks that like they weren't going to make it.
Right. Well, this is a nice easy out. So the people that will quit, they'll go, "Oh, I was sort of like forced to." Granted, it's been 5 weeks. It's not even. I mean, it's a long time, and everyone's losing their minds. And I think things will come back sooner than later. Like the restaurants are opening back up in Texas at 25% capacity. So technically, a comedy club could open up at 25% capacity.
How are they going to make any fucking money?
Yeah.
How are they going to earn money? How's the Stand's going to make money at 25%? The Stand's never at
more than 25% capacity.
Yeah.
But I mean, how are these clubs, dude? I think the real issue is how are these clubs going to make how are they going to make money?
Yeah, let's say the Stand reopens. They're fucking like, they've been like accruing credits, I guess, by selling these gift cards that are presumably going to be cashed in for less face value than they would get for the regular ticket sales, and they're already looking at a reduced audience.
Dude, what if the Stand reopens and they have 3 pizza ovens? Like they took all the... They took all the government funding. Like, what if the Stands reopens and they have a solid gold bar? And they're like, "Yeah, we got a couple of dollars for the government." So we said, "Why not have a gold bar?"
It's sad.
Gold.
It's sad, but the reality is the only way the comedy clubs come back is if they don't pay comics, and they're gonna try to do that because no matter what, that's what this fucking that's the whole system, and comics will fucking do it, and I mean. They shouldn't, but they will.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of comics won't. Good comics won't. Comics that sort of have self-respect, won't, or have a certain standard, won't do it. But the reality is there's so many guys that are so desperate to move in and jump into that spot that it doesn't matter. And to be honest with you, like there's a lot of really hungry fucking young bucks like, "Oh, dude, guest spots at the Stand? Let's go." And they'll fucking kill. It's not even like they're terrible comics. They're just not as experienced. So yeah, I think you're probably right about that. I think most of the reputable clubs will figure out a way, or they're going to try to figure out a way to do it. But New York's a different thing. New York's not like the rest of the country is different. And when guys can go out to the rest of the country and, people will fucking figure out a way to get out and perform. And the second, you look at like Vegas, right? Like Vegas is shut down for the first time ever. As soon as they open their doors back up, I don't think anybody's going to be afraid to go back out and go and gamble.
Louis, I love you. You're completely insane. Yeah. Vegas is genuinely dead. Like Louis is genuinely insane.
Worst example of all the cities in America. Like it's not like New York. It's like Las Vegas. Yeah, it's the only city probably faring.
Yeah, worse. Dude, no one ever has to go to Las Vegas, ever.
No, that's not the point I was making. I was making the point that as soon as they open things back up, people are flocking. And even in a place like Vegas, which it's probably, people on top of people on top of people, I think people are still going to flock there. So,
what people are going to flock to Vegas? No one has any money. Like,
I think if they fucking open up a restaurant around the corner right now, I think that restaurant will be packed. I don't think anybody would give a fuck. I don't think anybody's.
There's been no rent freeze, and the stimulus checks have already gone out. And in 3 days, rent is due again in New York City, and the state does not give a shit about.
They don't care.
You see, there was a bunch of
May 1st is when New York quarantine starts for real.
Correct.
That's when like if you want to make any kind of like assumptions about how things are going to be. We haven't even begun to see even the beginning of the economic impact of this until May.
Yeah.
And then
that's the whole thing, Lewis. We're not like, listen, yeah, people are going to be afraid of the virus to an extent, but we're talking about nobody has the money anymore to just get on a plane to Vegas and not worry about the impact of like spending that money on something completely frivolous.
Sort of. I mean, I agree with you to a certain degree, but I don't think younger people feel this as much as people that own property, own businesses. It's like,
but if you go to Vegas, if you walk around Vegas, how many people in Vegas are under 35, 40? Like it maybe 15%, 20%. 20-year-old kids aren't really going to Vegas.
Yeah. Look, I think the second people have an opportunity to do shit, they're so starved for anything right now. They're gonna go and fucking. I think business in terms of live entertainment, nightlife, that's gonna thrive. I don't think people are gonna be afraid of the virus when things open back up.
Me personally, it's like I was like, I'm not like fleeing New York, but I don't really see a point of being here anymore. And it's like I'm getting to the point where it's like, you know what? It's time to check out, move to fucking like Central PA, might move to Virginia.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking about Florida. Like you start thinking about Florida, you start thinking about anywhere. Why are you in a city? Why am I in LA? I mean, 50% of LA is unemployed right now.
Right, exactly. It's like there's you go out and do spots. I'm assuming the pay will be dog shit and the turnouts are gonna suck. And it's like, I'm not gonna fucking go do Brooklyn bar shows when it's like everything's been condensed to. I mean, it's just like it's going to be shit. I mean, there's like no way.
It'll be a guy like you'll just go do a door deal somewhere and kill it. I mean,
I could go on.
You'll be fine.
That also doesn't like the point is that there's no reason to be living in New York really anymore.
Yeah, and he can do a door deal. A lot of our friends are going to do DoorDash. So the reality is, you're either going to be doing a door deal or DoorDash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've considered it too. I mean, I'm definitely, the more I think about it, Cali sounds great. I've always wanted to do Cali, but I gotta fucking
you just gotta get rid of Big J. That guy's been leeching off you for too long. You gotta throw him to the street, and you just gotta come to Cali.
Yeah,
yeah. I like doing these podcasts more on Zoom than I do in person.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
I'm kind of split. I actually prefer it when you're in the studio. It's like there's a pressure to keep like the tempo going.
Yeah, Zoom is it's a nightmare that I hope ends soon.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I'll do every show, every podcast that I do. It's like how many times I'm like, oh fuck, I haven't been listening to a word anyone's been saying for like 45 seconds.
We're all just sitting in our homes, and there's something weird about that.
Well, that's the problem. When you're not going to work, you don't feel inspired. You don't feel like you're getting up and doing something. You feel like you're sitting around. I've been just sitting around getting fat. I've been playing video games. We are all becoming the fucking losers that we fucking complain about on the internet.
Reality is you don't have discipline with your diet. I've told you, I've tried to instruct you a million times as to how to have discipline and follow.
I'm ketogenic, high protein. Shape. Lewis is like, we're all becoming fat and shitty. We're all eating fat. I'm like, well, I don't know about that.
Nick, you're the only psychopath that's getting in better shape.
It's your lack of discipline. Lewis, if you had Magic Spoon cereal, which is promo code Tim Dillon.
Is that the zero carb shit?
Yeah, it's a zero carb keto cereal that's kept me in shape for 30 years.
The keto cereal, please. I need that keto cereal. It's gone? Okay. I bought one. What the fuck was the name of it? Dude, it was the nastiest shit I've ever had in my entire... It's
actually the best shit I've ever had, but I put it in my ass.
Not yours. I didn't have yours.
Yeah. I stuff it in my ass and I come, and then you don't want to eat.
You put it then you don't want to eat. And you go, Magic Spoon.
Dude, it's cereal school. Cereal school. I saw, Brian, please pull up Cereal School, like their ads. They look so good. I was like, dude, finally, I get a cereal and I get a zero carbs, zero sugar. I spent like $70 on 2 boxes of this shit.
The thing with Magic Spoon is it's good. You start chewing it, and then all of a sudden there's like a fatty paste in your mouth. You're like, because all of a sudden you realize it's not like, for the first couple of bites, you're like, oh, it's cereal. But then you start going, oh no, I'm eating like a liver.
Is it flavored with that weird? It's not even like whatever some weird foreign fucking.
Nick, of course you don't, because you're not fat. This is for fat people. This is not for. This is for fat people who are never serious about being on a diet.
If you are craving cereal, you're a fat fuck. You're never gonna have abs.
There's no person out there that's serious about being on a diet that goes, but I here's the thing. I have to have chocolate cereal every morning. or all bets are off. I'm serious, but all bets are off if I can't have apple pie flavored cereal. I just need it. I just need it.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like the thing that I miss is like 85-15 ground beef. You know what I mean?
Why can't you have that? You can't have 15% of fat in the beef?
Yeah, because it like blows your fat macros for
Go fuck yourself, dude. I hate you.
Dude, you got to get 20%. I get meat with 70% fat and 30% meat.
Yeah. Hey, I've been there. Look,
here's the question. What are we all living for? That's the real,
Yeah.
That's the real question.
I'm trying to be efficient. I'm trying to eventually get closer to the source and becoming an elderly Japanese woman.
Who speaks Mandarin?
I'm trying to weigh 10 pounds and I consume like 17 calories a day, and I live.
The only clothing you need is a sandal.
You're right. I just wear one sandal and I live to the age of 238.
Will you do Cumtown? You'll do Cumtown on Zoom if you move.
Yeah, who knows? It's like if I can get a house and land, it's like, how long am I going to be doing?
A couple slaves.
Yeah, fuck that. I mean, it's like, if I get my plantation, I'm trying to buy Monticello.
Yeah.
If I
got a house and a couple of Africans, I don't need to do no podcast.
Yeah, if I get Monticello and I get my vineyard started, I figure first year maybe we'll be making maybe $2 million.
Yeah.
Maybe $6 million off the slave labor alone.
Yeah.
Which I would rent out, and then part of it I would keep for myself, use the profits to fund my vineyard.
The great thing is you sound like Kevin Spacey, and that's genuinely a conversation he's had, about sex slaves,
Well, he does the, what's the character's name? Frank Underwood. Well, yeah. I say maybe I have the afternoon spoil myself with a 4-year-old, I believe.
I'll take a couple of 13-year-olds camping, Claire.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that, Claire?
I've never seen the show. I've only seen that weird video.
I love Robin Wright Penn. When they asked her about all the shit, she became her character, which is like this, narcissistic, scheming lunatic. Like they asked her about Kevin Spacey, and she's like, I never really knew the man. I just, I don't know him. We don't, he's a stranger to me. It was like just a fascinating, like, oh, you are Claire Underwood now.
Yeah.
You saw that Biden gave back Louis' donation?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Biden, who, by the way, is
rapes women.
More of a rapist than Louis.
Also, will ever be.
The accusations against Biden, which are more credible than the accusations against Kavanaugh, which is not to say that Kavanaugh is innocent. But that the Tara Reade allegations have more face value credibility to them than the Blasey Ford accusations are also worse accusations.
He's a senator.
He's a senator that fingered him at gunpoint. That last detail, I might be adding a little bit of editorial flourish.
As a journalist. He's a senator who fingered a woman while the towers were falling.
While the towers were burning, he said, "We're doing this to save Building 7."
Right.
He's like, I need to check your pussy for chemicals.
Yeah.
For 9/11 chemicals.
Do you think they forced him to drop out and then run a dream ticket of the Meatball King, Andrew Cuomo, and then Michelle Obama?
The dream ticket is Andrew Cuomo and the Blue Angels.
I just want to see Andrew Cuomo and Michelle Obama, because nothing means anything. Democracy doesn't mean anything. Just pick two people.
We're not doing the New York primary. We're just going to.
Yeah, none of it matters. Just run anyone that's not Biden. Run Andy Cohen and run anyone.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you think he did that? You think it was just for optics, right? Because if he accepted it, it's going to be, he's a person who's been accused of sexual assault accepting a donation from somebody accused of sexual assault.
No, he did it to win those dumb woke points that they think still matter. It's why they lost the first election.
Right.
I mean, does anyone care? I mean, 50% of fucking LA is unemployed. 50% of, I mean, there's 20, 30 million people unemployed. No one gives a fuck. Take Louis' money.
Ironically, the thing with like fucking the Biden rape thing is like nobody cared. Nobody who's on the fence cares. It's like,
right.
I mean, it like should. All it does is point out of a hypocrisy in the minds of liberals. That's all.
Right.
It doesn't like, it's not like there was a fucking like, conservative Democrat in Pennsylvania that was like, my issue is rape accusations. I really just don't believe those people exist. So
you just see some guy in like Western Pennsylvania. He's out of work. He's just standing there. He's getting ready to vote. They're like, sir, what is your biggest issue? And he's like, rape accusations. He's like, I want to get to the bottom of what happened. Yeah. And that's how I'm making my decision.
Yeah.
Who accused Biden of rape? I don't even understand what happened.
Tara Reid accused Biden of rape in the early 90s. And like the New York Times just last.
Chick who dated Carson Daly?
Yes. Yes.
So just last week, she fucking said that, or New York Times said that they, like, oh, we found no credibility to her accusations or any pattern of behavior. I mean, the New York Times basically acquitted Joe Biden. They did their own investigation and decided they affirmatively announced that she's lying.
Louis, you never heard of? Yeah, you never heard about this? I heard about it.
I didn't really pay attention to it. I just
do you remember
believe
when she did the show Taradise? Remember Taradise?
Yeah.
Tara Reid did that show Taradise?
No.
Yeah.
This is when it supposedly happened with Biden.
Yeah. It was in between the Scary Movies. It was in between Scary Movie 2 and 3, whichever movie.
He walked on set during Scary Movie 3. He started to rape Tara Reid.
He started fingering her at gunpoint.
Yeah, he was fingering her at gunpoint while she was filming the show Taradise.
Before her botched implants?
Yeah.
Because that's when she was hot.
It's so funny to imagine like what story is materializing in Lewis's brain right now is the truth.
It's like
how reality is being shaped in his plastic mind.
Lewis is much more likely to vote for Biden now that he's raped Tara Reid.
Yeah.
What do you think about the reality of a senator raping a reality star movie star?
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest with you. I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
I think that probably anybody who's a president of the United States has probably done the minimum a crime as bad as rape.
As 3 rapes. You think everyone has been? Obama's done 3 rapes.
Obama? Yeah, probably. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
You don't think Obama's done some evil shit?
I think he's raped dudes.
Yeah. I mean, he was, even while he was president, continuing to work as a gay that's been proven.
There was this guy, Larry Johnson. They used to smoke crack in a limo, and Obama would suck him off. This is the news. Larry Johnson would pull up outside the White House.
Larry Johnson would rent out Obama to rich Saudis who would have sex with him.
Rich Saudis would have piss parties, and Obama would come and he'd be a golden fountain for the Saudi royal family because Larry Johnson what
Obama did. It's like I love the hubris of people on the left to say that the right has no sense of humor. When if you can read a single Obama conspiracy theory without
hilarious,
just weeping.
Michelle Obama is a man that Barack met during college.
And a lot of Facebook groups with every picture of Michelle Obama with every fold in her dress circled to be the implication being that it's an outline of a penis.
That sometimes it's by her knees.
Yeah, it'll be up here. It'll be like she'll be like waving to people, and they're like, "Is this a penis?
Yeah,
is this her chest penis?"
Not only does she have a penis, she has a 13-inch cock.
That's a 45-inch penis that loops around their armpit, and you can tell by the lighting that she's erect, waiting to stop her boy husband.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what it is. The Obamas were gay escorts.
It's also like, what is it like? If that were true,
it would be great.
But then what would happen? I mean, like,
right.
what does the Constitution say? Oh, by the way, the president isn't allowed to have a secret husband that has a 45-inch penis.
Well, you know what it was, Nick? I think it was the escorting. Like, it wasn't only that Michelle was a man and that Barack was smoking crack and sucking dick. It was that there was money being exchanged after these behaviors. You know?
God, fuck. I mean, I used to just sit and read those Facebook groups and just cry. Just fucking cry laughing. I mean, those fucking, all of those, you want to talk about the Long Island stolen guys?
Oh, yeah.
They had their pinnacle in fucking 2012 after the re-election when they're like, well, maybe let's try being even angrier.
Right,
maybe that. I mean, which is like the inverse of it. It's literally just watching what fucking liberals are doing now. It's like during the Obama years, at least people I sort of like tangentially agree with were acting somewhat normal, you know. And then it was like nut job conservatives that were losing their fucking minds. And
the funniest thing during that era was like Long Island guys would go to parks and dress up like Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
And then say the N-word, and they called it the Tea Party. They were like, we're a Tea Party. And they would just dress up like a slave owner and go to a park and like hold a sign and get other racists to like honk horns as they pass.
Right. And you know what I love about the Tea Party too? It's like they have this dumb movement that's fake and created by Fox News to begin with. And then they name it after probably the most cowardly thing that the original Patriots ever did. Which was like an act of tax protest that they tried to blame on indigenous people.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
What happened, Nick? Your mic cut out.
Did it?
Hear me?
Yeah, his mic cut out.
Yeah, now it's on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the Obamas have a lot of power. Be very careful.
Oh, yeah. No, my computer is telling me my internet connection is unstable.
Yeah. Are you moving, Nick? What's going on with your apartment?
No. This
that's a comedy. Nick lives in a comedy club.
Yeah, this is it's just a bunch of tools and files all over the fucking.
Yeah. He's building a stage there.
Yeah, there's.
That's the thing. If you built a stage in your house and said to all the comedians, "Hey guys, we have a club in my house. Just come on." Yeah. These psychopaths we know would show up at your house and do their act onto your stage.
Yeah.
Why not do like a drive-in movie theater?
For what?
Like for comedy.
Because it's an incredibly dumb idea. I mean, it's like, make people laugh in their cars?
About podcasting is like, it doesn't require, there's no like discernible podcast talent. It's just that you don't shut the fuck up. So the dumber you are, the better you are at it, because it's like,
that's how I thrive.
75, like you can do 4 good podcast episodes and attract an audience. And then after that, the successful shows are the ones where then 95% of the audience only listens because they hate you. And they just don't, they just want to sit there and get mad at you mispronouncing words or fucking getting some detail about something wrong. So the dumber you are and the louder you are, the better you are at it. And that's why, Lewis, you're so successful. But now you've confused your one success as I'm good at business ideas, and you say things like, why don't we have drive-in stand-up comedy clubs? Like,
why don't we have
regular comedy clubs, which didn't require drive-in access to, are already failing and gone. But now let's add a vehicle element and a whole bunch of equipment that's necessary.
Hear me out, dude. We can get Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah, now there's going to be huge.
If I handed you $1 million tomorrow and said, make Caroline's, because it's a big room. I'm not even going to say like the stand, smaller room. Make a club like Caroline's. You can seat 350 people, which maybe could turn a little bit of a profit by making the seats spaced out. What would you do? Because I thought about this. What would you do? How would you do it? Because if everyone's in a mask, that sucks because you can't hear them laughing.
You can hear them laughing if they're wearing a mask.
Can you?
Yeah. Why not? You hear people talking. hear people laughing. That's not an issue. It's weird. I think people, the same way you get used to noise in the back of the room, like if you have like a loud bar or you do a bar show and there's like a TV on, you just sort of tune it out after a while.
The same way you get used to being molested is the way you'll be used to performing.
Eventually, comedians will just be in a permanent fugue where they think they're doing well, and really they're all
right. We have enough people that think they're killing when people can give them feedback.
Right.
Well, that's the problem with it. With a drive-in, would probably be the fact that you can't hear the laughter.
The whole point of drive-in movie theaters.
That's a big problem, Louis.
The whole point of drive-in movie theaters is it was a place to get pussy back when it was illegal to do that until you were 37 years old.
Right. It's just people trying to get a hand job.
Right. That's it. And now that like teenagers are allowed to suck each other off and get their dicks cut off on reality shows on TLC, there's no reason to go do it in the privacy of a drive-in movie theater.
And also, Derek Gaines is going to call you out and be like, "Look at this motherfucker getting jerked off," and then it's going to ruin it.
Mm-hmm. His penis kind of reminds me of like a spaceship. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about how a spaceship, because sometimes a spaceship will be like, it'll be like, but then other times, it's like talking backwards to you, like when you play backwards, and it's like Satan giving you messages in your head, and you're like, Derek, are you?
Derek Gaines is okay. Me and Nick watched him do that. His bit about biscuits is maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, he's funny and he crushes.
He's amazing. He's amazing. Yeah,
and he's a good guy. He's a great
dude.
Yeah. But if you stop and analyze the logic of any one of his bits, it's like this is schizophrenia.
Yeah,
yeah, it's wild.
He's like, you ever notice how when you go on a date with a girl, it's kind of like eating pancakes? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
My favorite thing he said was like, he was saying something about, he had an Uber driver named Ebony.
Yeah.
Or no, Ebenezer. An Uber driver named Ebenezer was really black. And he's like, that motherfucker wasn't even Ebony. He was Ebenezer. I was like, this is an interesting way to get there. It's an interesting.
Like his notes was he saw the word Ebenezer once. And he was like, yo, I got to use that.
Where are you going to move, Louis? Are you done with New York? What makes the decision? What's your breaking point?
It really would be Beatrice. If she was interested in moving out of New York City, I would definitely consider it.
Well, she's not going to have her job, right? Or no? I don't know.
I mean, she works in a bar, but she's got money invested. She's doing fine. She'll figure it out. But yeah, it's a hard thing. Like, I don't want to fucking raise my kid in the city. It sucks, dude. Just even when it's normal, it sucks raising a kid here. Like my kid, I can't let my kid go out for like a minute. If I let my kid go outside for 1 minute, he's dead.
Well, he's 4. You shouldn't let him go out anywhere. Like
when I was 7, I could go out my front door in the suburbs.
Yeah, but you can't let a 5-year-old in the suburbs just roam around, eat. Like, you still have to parent.
If you live in the suburbs, you can let your 7-year-old go out the front door to your next door neighbor's place.
No, that stopped in the 80s because all those kids ended up on Epstein's Island.
Yeah, a lot. You really shouldn't just let your kid run around.
Right. The mental
illness, like, if I lived in the suburbs, James would have a job. He'd be working.
The mental illness that me and Tim have was literally caused by people letting their kids walk around and do whatever they want in the 1980s.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen, there wouldn't be like a fucking pedophile buffet among the
I walked around trying to get raped. Nobody raped me, and that's why I'm the way I am.
Yeah. One guy did try to rape me once. He was like an old guy who like told us to come swimming in his pool. And then I told my mom we were going to go swimming in this old guy's pool, and she beat the shit out of me.
She was just mad that you knew someone with a pool.
Yeah, she was furious. Yeah. But that's why when I grew up, we would go out in the morning and come home when the street lights came on. So even if you were kidnapped at like 10 a.m. when you were like, your mom wasn't even going to know it until 6 or 7 o'clock.
Right.
And that's it. Like, I remember being maybe 4 or 5 and just being out, like being completely out, like just going off in the woods and like building a tree house. Like nobody would check on me or anything. You can't do that now.
Not really.
No.
I don't think a 4-year-old can just be out in the woods, as per what you just said. Can a 4-year-old just go in the woods and like figure out a way to build a treehouse and live off the land?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's why I want property, and then just knock up some dumb bitch, and then just have a kid I speak Chinese to, and teach him how to make rope and shit. And
you're the dude.
Just give him a bunch of property. That'd be sick.
Let him beat the shit out of your chick.
Yeah, sure. Let the kid beat up, whatever. Just fucking give him an ATV. That'd be sick, dude. I would love to just give a child like a ATV to ride around.
Give him a BB gun for his 2nd birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a real gun. Why fuck around BBs?
Did you have a BB gun growing up?
Me?
No, I think a friend of mine did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would get.
No way would my mom let me have a BB gun.
Yeah, my mom didn't give a shit. We had 10 pump BB guns where you'd like pump it 10 times and then shoot it.
Yeah.
We would have wars where we would pump it 2 times and just have BB gun wars. But by 5 shots into it, you're just pumping it like 8 times, putting holes in each other.
It was just like, you know that game you would play where your mom would go to a pharmacy and you and her would have BB guns and you'd point them at the pharmacist and then she'd go in the back. Money. Yeah, it was a fun game, man. You can't do that anymore.
Dude, I actually one time we went to ShopRite, which is a supermarket, and we were playing a BB gun war behind the supermarket, and we decided we wanted to go buy sodas. So it's just 3 fucking Puerto Rican kids. We take our rifles, we put them down our legs in our pants, and we go into the supermarket. And there's just like security watching us do this. They thought they were being robbed, dude. They start following us around the supermarket. The cops show up, and I just started running. And I'm like a fat kid. Anyway, so I had the rifle in my leg, and I pulled the rifle out of my leg. I mean, I was almost shot to death. There was like 8 cops there. It was so close to me just being fucking dead. It was so. I deserved to be dead, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Having nothing to
do with that. The best ones make it through. That's what we know about life. The best ones make it.
Yeah.
That's what they should put on the outside of all the coronavirus yards. They should go, hey, listen, the best ones make it.
Yeah.
What was the closest to death you've ever been, Tim?
Yesterday. No. Yes. Yesterday I almost killed myself.
I've never felt close to death.
I fell off a bike. I was coming down a hill and I jammed on the brakes and I flew off a bike and I fucked up my arms. I got like pebbles in my arms. And I had a helmet on, but if I didn't have a helmet on, I would have died. But that's one of the only times I legit was blacked out and then was in shock and didn't quite know what happened. I guess that would be the closest you'd feel to like death, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've been knocked out.
Yeah.
But I've never, I put my head through a windshield one time, but it's like, I've never been in a point where I fear like, oh, my life's going to end, like a near death experience.
Why? How'd you put your head through a windshield? The car accident?
I didn't have a seatbelt on. Yeah. It was like a head on collision. I fucking came up.
I was like, what? You started headbutting windshields?
Yeah.
What is that the closest you were to death, Lewis? That's hard to believe.
I think the closest to death ever. I almost drowned once. There's a place called the Deep Hole where I grew up, Rockland County, and it was like essentially just like these cliffs that you would jump off. And it had been raining for days before, and it was crazy, like rapids, like rushing in. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll still jump in. And when I jumped in, the waterfall just pushed me down. I mean, I don't even know how far. It just felt like it just kept pushing. And kept pushing, and you're just like trying to swim to the top, and you're seeing the top, and it's just not coming to the point where I was like, I felt like I was about to take my last, try to take a breath, and then I reached the top, and it was that was scary as shit, dude.
Yeah,
that was really scary. But yeah, beyond that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, probably a bunch, dude. We were crazy. I would never let my kid do this shit. We would go and grab on our rollerblades. We'd grab on the back of a bus and just go like 50 miles an hour down the highway on the back of a bus.
Yeah, but your kid's doing other kinds of dangerous shit, like he's on his iPad being tracked by the government.
Yeah, like James has a lot of alt accounts and he's fucking trading cryptocurrencies and he's doing all kinds of dangerous things.
James is engaging in the danger of being an American citizen on the precipice of total authoritarian fashion.
Yeah. That's what James is doing.
Yeah, the back of the bus is America going off a cliff, and the rollerblades are the public's complicity in Google's a panopticon takeover of social life as we know it.
Tim dropped his camera.
Yeah. It'd be funny if the camera moved and there's just like
child
bullets, just chained.
Yeah. What if the camera moved and I was just sitting in like a sea of pasta in like a pot?
Yeah.
And I was like holding on to a ravioli.
Yeah. God damn, I miss ravioli. That's something I cannot wait to have. I got 24.
Why can't you have it? Here's the deal. This is what I've learned about dieting, and I've learned about it from a lot of overweight Long Island women. Yeah. You can eat anything you want. You just have to be accountable. So if you have a chocolate cake later in the day, you just have to have a glass of water.
Yeah.
You just got to be accountable. Just be deliberate.
Once I'm done with this shit and I'm like, emaciated and fucking, I
look like the machinist.
Yeah, no, I mean, I probably will. I probably literally will look like the machinist at the end of this fucking.
Is Stav losing? Is he on the thing with you?
No, he's not doing it. But, you know what? Because I remember as a kid, you would read accounts of I remember reading about the siege of Stalingrad and the liberation of the Nazi death camps. And I remember hearing about the Allied soldiers, how thin they were, but the Allied soldiers, as part of their kit, they would have a bar of chocolate, and they would give chocolate to the besieged, either in Stalingrad or maybe it was the death camps. But I just remember a story of somebody who had been starved to death getting a piece of chocolate during the Holocaust. And I remember thinking as a child, wow, I wish I was in the Holocaust, because that's probably the best tasting piece of chocolate in the world. And it created in my mind this appreciation for the single square of a Hershey's bar and how good that must taste
and how valuable that would
be after being kept in imprisoned.
Well, that's a new diet. That's a new diet that's coming out. It's called the Holocaust diet.
It's called the Siege of Stalingrad.
Yeah. And what it'll be is it's just a labor camp for a year. You simulate the conditions of a labor camp. Yeah. And then when you're on the edge of death, you get just one square of chocolate. And you keep going.
It's the South Beach diet. It's the South Beach of Pyongyang.
Of Pyongyang.
There was a book when I was a kid called Slake's Limbo. And it was about a kid who was had an abusive household, and he ran away from home, and he lived in the subways and would find newspapers on the platform and resell them to people, people that use their subway and left, or use their newspaper and left them on the platform. And this became my fantasy from the time I was 9 to the time I was 13 to run away from home and live as a sewer rat.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do it.
I want to do it.
You can still do it. You can still leave. New York is in deep trouble, and a lot of people there are probably going to just start thinking about going elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think they already have. I think anybody who has money, I mean, Dave Smith's moving out of the city. He's moving to Jersey.
Yeah, smart.
He's fucking been a city kid through and through, but he's moving to a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, fucking 2-car garage right on the water. It's what are we even doing? What are we even doing? Especially
what about Jay? What about Jay and Christine? Are they going to stay?
I think so for a little while. I can see Jay going to LA eventually.
Yeah. Wow, this is changing everything.
It really is. It's making everyone sort of
take a look at what's going on.
Well, it's seeing, what is your lifestyle? If something like this does happen again, I want to have a fucking, I'm becoming such a fat, I want to have a gym in my garage. I want to have a backyard. I want to have a pool.
Yeah,
this sucks, dude.
Yeah, that's my shit, dude. I want a fucking workshop, place to work. I want space. I don't. I mean, fucking life sucks, dick. I just want my fucking dumb projects.
That's why when I go to Whitney Cummings' house, I realize I want a pool and a horse farm and a mansion.
I would like 3 assistants.
I want a Lamborghini assistant. I want to deal with Revlon.
To have these conversations when it's those people who finally did have their house in those places that are now being foreclosed on because they lost their job. And we've spent the last decade in New York, enjoying New York for what it is. And we're like, I guess I'll buy these people's house below market rate.
Well,
okay. We're so entitled.
Yeah, right. I guess I'll just go ahead and steal their home.
Well, dude, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5 right now, and I just started playing a few days. Do you play online, Nick?
No, I mean, I played half the campaign. I've been working through Grand Theft Auto 5 for, what is it, almost a decade now?
I don't even know. It must be an old game. I just started playing it, though, and this is how what garbage I am. I just bought my first house in the game, and it almost made me emotional. It was such an amazing moment. I stepped in, I sat down on my couch, and it was a real fucking moment. And that's all I want. I want to own a house so badly. The idea of even owning a house as a child was such a far off thought. Yeah. It was never going to happen.
Well, it's also not really even worth it.
You don't think so?
No, really.
Thanks, Tim.
They're fucking expensive, and then it's like, you know, I mean, it's a 30-year loan. You know, it's like with your career, it's like, how long is this gonna fucking last? It's like, what if this dries?
With my career?
Well, any of ours. I mean, especially like as a fucking comedian. You know, I mean, no one could predict Corona or whatever, but it's like you can't just assume that you're going to be making the money you are now forever.
You know what else I couldn't have predicted?
It's not like being a fucking salesman, you know, or some other career where you work for a company and it's like stable income. You're self-employed.
You know what else I couldn't have predicted, Nick?
What?
Driving comedy clubs.
Driving comedy clubs, yeah.
Nobody.
But you did predict them, and it won't happen.
I just love the idea of like Lewis sitting down and being like, "It's a drive-in comedy club," and some Italian guy being like, "Yeah, like it's the 50s." Yeah. So then there's like comedy there.
Hey, you know what I was thinking would be a good idea? Maybe we get little brick ovens and we put them in the car.
Every car gets their own pizza oven.
But there's a hose that goes to the exhaust. And the exhaust cooks the pizza in the car.
And people get to watch the dough rise when they watch the comedian.
But it's good for the environment because the car's exhaust is being reused to make the pizza pie right there in the vehicle.
And then you watch the comedians.
Before you watch the comedians, you take a little nap.
I think the Italians should open every type of business.
You take a little nap. You got the fucking exhaust keeping you warm.
You got the smell of pizza. If you wanted to live there, you could pay to live there. If you want to just live there in your car, you pay a little extra. You live there.
You charge them rent to live there. Now it's an apartment complex too, so you get the tax write-off.
I've always been good at business. I'm good at it. It's something. It's the way my mind works.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of doing this move. It's a lot of just fucking. Hey, what?
You see fucking Chris Italia as a kid delivering newspapers. He's like, what if we give a free slice of pizza with every newspaper?
What if we put a big Chilean sea bass for free in every newspaper? That when people go to read the news and they're like, whoa, what is this? There's fish also?
What is this?
Free?
Beautiful fillet of fish.
And up front, we're going to lose about $47 per newspaper.
Here's the clubs that'll survive. Up front, we're going to lose.
Up front,
but we got to invest. You got to make an investment in yourself.
You got to spend money to make money.
Eventually, the fish ain't free anymore. And then
the clubs that are going to survive are like Al Martin's, the Broadway Comedy Club. Those things will survive because those things know what it really is.
Right.
They're going to sell tickets to idiots in Times Square.
They're like they're surviving the way cockroaches survived the nuclear holocaust.
Correct. They know what it is.
The cretins of the economy.
Well, they've already been so removed from the emotion, right? And they're right. They're not. They're 100% right. We're idiots to go like, oh my god, it's the art of comedy. We're fucking losers. They understand it's a box. You put people
is that
in
how
a
you've
box,
been approaching this? The art of comedy.
The art of comedy. Yeah. They put people in a box, and those
not
people
even
fucking
doing
spend money.
Comedy. The art of comedy is how to run a comedy club in the face of an economic holocaust. That's where the art of it comes in.
But you're right. Those are the people who will survive because they don't give a fuck about paying comedians. They'll pay people the absolute lowest they can pay them. They'll charge tourists as much money as possible. They'll jack up the prices of drinks, $4 per drink, because when you're ripping off tourists in Times Square, you're not telling them that it's $14, $15 a drink. You're just saying, hey, it's a 2-drink minimum, if that. So it's not good. You're right. The places that do it the right way, which want to, spread the wealth, give comedians the right pay.
That's hard.
It's going to be really difficult to do it. So, it's weird. It's going to be, it's kind of killing the comedy middle class because they talk about it killing the middle class, right? The comedy middle class, all the guys who don't necessarily have a following, but they're killers. They can go on stage. They're pros. They demand a certain rate. Those guys are gone. It's either going to be the young bucks who will do it for free or the guys who can really draw and put butts in seats. Those are going to be the people who are going to be fine. Right.
Yeah. And even they won't be fine, but they'll have a better chance.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this one up. This has been a lot of fun. You guys are the best. Now on iTunes, go search Bastard Radio. Tim I put the logo up, which was done by my friend Lewis Tuck. Spent a lot of hard work on it, a lot of time. I posted it on Instagram, and Nick just laughed in my face.
No, it's cool. I think it's cool. I also like
that thing from Lewis. He used to be he was like the principal of a school, and now he was fired. Now he's doing podcast logos. So good for him.
Yeah. Don't worry.
He was the CEO of fucking of
a hotel chain. Now he's doing bastard radio podcast logos
for $20.
When he moved his house in a short sale to Dave Smith for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Lev Fur just bought this guy's house.
Yeah. He'll be able to maybe sleep in the garage for a little bit before, if in case there's any graphic design work necessary.
All right, gents. Thanks for hanging. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.